A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
All about faith to this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Tando Pela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it. I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Okay, welcome everybody. There might have been a little bit of an issue there, but it's okay. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host, and this show, man, is about local football, African football, and every now and then we go over to Europe. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And you can catch any of the previous episodes in full, available on YouTube, where you'll be able to watch what I was saying, what everybody else has been saying, and what really dope discussions we've had. It's a very interactive show. And when I say it's an interactive show, what's happening? When I say it's an interactive show, it means that you're able to jump in and have conversations with me. And the conversations are had via TikTok. So if you're watching me on YouTube, then head on over to TikTok, follow me, and you'll be able to request by pressing the button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. I'll let you in and we can have a conversation about whatever it is we are talking about on that day. Now, today, we're going to be speaking about something. We're going to go a little continental in our conversation today. We're going to go a little continental, and we're going to speak about how the Champions League has just had its draw, and we now know where Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns are going to be placed during this tournament, and we know who they are up against and who they're going to be playing. For those who are just joining, man, and you're looking at this picture, that is what the Champions League trophy looked like in 1995. That is Orlando Pirates goalkeeper Williams Okpara holding up the CAF Champions League. The star that Orlando Pirates has was won in 1995. And then on the other side, we have Kama Biliat, who won it with Mamelodi Sundowns in 2016. Apologies, guys. There's a lot that's happening here for some reason on my machine. But anyway, Yeah, so that's what we're going to speak about today. Orlando Pirates has been drawn in Group C. Group C has CR Belouizdad, or the team that Kanisa Mayo plays for. And then, of course, we have Stade d'Abidjan from Ivory Coast. We have Ahly, the 12-time winners of the Champions League, also there with Orlando Pirates. So that is how Group C is going to pan out. Of course, the last time Orlando Pirates and Ahly met up, it was in 2013 in the final of the CAF Champions League, when unfortunately Eric Tinkler and Roger Dessau couldn't take that team to glory. Then, of course, in Group B, Mamelodi Sundowns has to face AS Maniema Union from the Congo, and then, of course, Raja Casablanca and AS FAR Club. Raja Casablanca, of course, last season went invincible under coach Zimbabwe, another former Pirates coach, but he has since left, and they're a little bit shaky in the league right now. And then AS FAR Club, a club that its women's team does very well in the Champions League. I believe they've won it once, and also seen Banyana Bastille in the final where they lost to Banyana Bastille. And then, of course, that team was coached by Coach Nabi. Who then also left to come to Kaizer Chiefs. So they're also a little bit shaky. Today we're going to be speaking about how we feel about the draw, and how we feel about the two clubs. What are their expectations? How do you feel about the matches they're going to play? Is it important for either of these clubs to win this right now? Okay, let me see. Guys, we're going to do four panels. We're going to focus on Orlando Pirates first, and then we're going to go into Mamelodi Sundowns in the second hour. So if you do want to jump in, please, you have to be following me, and then there's a button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest, which is what you click. I let you in, and we have a conversation about what we saw. This is the Champions League that we are speaking about today. So please, Pirates fans, man, Kenang, let's have a conversation about the club. And even if you're not a Pirates fan and you want to jump in and have your say, press the button at the bottom of your screen. There is a timer, guys. There's a timer. So please, can we respect each other so that we can get as many people in? Get as many people in, and we can have conversations about what we are seeing here, or what we're speaking about today. Let me welcome Blackberry to the show. Blackberry, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Blackberry, man. Pirates back in the Champions League.
Yo. Yeah, it's a nice thing, man. It's a nice thing, very nice thing. Can't complain. Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Pirates being back, and how do you feel about the draw?
Okay, first of all, like I want to say within 18, the Pirates dominate about 2013 those times, and there was this one point of time they go Confed Cup. They lost against, I think, it to Sahel.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart because Sasha were on goal. So like I'm happy they back where we're supposed to be. But the sad part is that that's a tough group. That's the group of death. We all know. Ahly, CR Belouizdad, Stade Abidjan, it's very good teams. Understand? It's very good teams, man. I can't even say much.
Okay. What's the expectation for Pirates this year in the Champions League? What are they going to do? What do you want them to do? Is Jose under pressure to do well in this tournament?
For me, he's not, because let's be for real. Like, since I'm a Pirates fan, I understand very my expectations with her. Man, let's be realistic for this one. This one we need to be realistic. This one, we need to be realistic. It's gonna be a tough one. I'm not doubting the boys, but it's gonna be a tough one to actually go out the group. Because now we are playing against the 12-time champions. We're playing against, like, in Africa, it's different conditions. Like, finding normal. So like, I mean, I group of death, let's go, you know.
So then, tell me again.
Yeah.
If you don't do it this year, when are you gonna do it? Is there a promise, an expectation that you guys are gonna be back next year and the year after being out for so long, for example?
The one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm the Pirates will win the league.
Okay.
Pirates bazoyiwina league and we all be back. That's the sad part. The Pirates is winning league. Mara this season I'm not push kakhulu. Ngoba mas push, that's where we're gonna have more players we won't have the players wanting to fight more. So like I'd like to say that with like as push manje it's the first time back into African football. So I'm just saying take it slowly but surely because it's a competition at the end of the day. But main priority at this season is winning league. Say Shai Santa. Yeah.
J. Okay. I think I might give you a minute at the end. Let me go to Ukuma. Ukuma, welcome to the show. How are you?
How's it? How are you?
Hi, man. Kemonati Kumo. Kumo, Pirates in the Champions League. How do you feel about the draw that they got in Group C? Ahly, Belouizdad, and Study Dabijan.
Yeah, of course, they're gonna think it's a group of death for them. I get a bungile Tom, I think. And like, yeah, you said, how do you feel? Not a generation, upcoming statements, ne? No, man, I don't see Pirates progressing through to the next stage, you know? Yes, they've been, I don't want to say, okay, they've been doing great with the asterisk sign at the end, ne? The tournament, but that is very different compared to CAF, ne? Some people are gonna come here and lie and say Orlando Pirates are the trend makers go CAF, but in reality, how many people in this Pirate squad have CAF experience besides bafana? The tournament it's been a long time. Besides the 1995 what, it's been a long time since any of these guys played.
Hey guys, please mute when you come in.
And when I say CAF Champions League,
hey man, guys, mute tag. Shuru, can you please mute there?
when I'm mute,
I'm trying. Something's going wrong this side. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Nigerian kire moderator if you want to but okay, back to my point then. As I was saying, like CAF is difficult, guys, ne? Your Confederations Cup experience, it's nothing because you play the Kaizer Chiefs of other countries, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
What? I'm actually being nice. Yeah, why one? So I mean, like they tried. There was this other meme. They put up a picture of Senzo Mehiwa, with lasers extracting him. Kore is that bad that like they can't put up someone who's recent, like Butito or Rele. That's how long it's been. So I don't know how Pirates and their coach is gonna navigate this because go rough. I get it and happy. I like how they're gonna try and compete on every competition, including the league and the Champions League. They're gonna see what it's difficult. It's difficult, especially considering how expensive and huge Africa is, traveling with their theme squad. And in reality, Pirates' squad, pound for pound, can't rival Sundowns' squad, first 11, ne? But the second 11, or even their third, even our DDC. Well, I'm trying to, do you get my point?
Okay.
So, for being a witch, I'm gonna hope for it by go last 8, because we know about go to last 4 or even the final. Mara in reality, both group stages and
What should the expectation be, Kumo, for this tournament? Where do you think Pirates fans should be aiming with the Champions League? And should they give up other things to get it? Is it a guarantee they'll be back?
Pirates have already reached their target. They've got the MTN Cup, got to is way easy. Yeah, like the expectations, much you say, but what are these funny things? We are still building. It's been a long time since we are here. It's not easy becoming number 2. I want to ambition these guys. So the expectations, I get. They've improved. The last time they didn't go past the group stage. They didn't reach the group stages. For by virtue of actually reaching these group stages, achievement. So like right now, look, improvement. So how are you gonna fire this coach?
Okay. Let me go to Putiza. Putiza, welcome to the show. How are you?
So when Mr. OT, I'm a Pirates fan.
Okay.
I will try not to be biased. Ngithanda ukuhlonipha wonke umuntu okhona kwipaneli no nama analysts wabo abawakhulumayo about Pirates kuma group stages. Well, Mr. OT, we are facing a big stage. This Jose era has never been tested to that stage. Yokudlala nabo Ahly. We are expecting a lot from him. We are not applying pressure to our coach. We believe in him. The young boys, we want them to go there and try to enjoy, gain experience. Yes, abantu bangakhala ngesquad sethu ukuthi no, the only person engambala mhlambe uGilberto who has that CAF Champions experience other than other players, we Pirates. But with my squad, I believe, yes, we first 11, it's guaranteed. Yes, backup isazama ukupesha because I think the team eseyidlale close to 15 games ama-televiziwe and we are getting good results. In that, kule group esikuyo, it is a tough group. Yes, Ahly are the one most favorites to top the group, or even to go well and beyond to a final. To us, people are, I won't say underestimating, or I'm trying to look for a correct word. I won't say they're underestimating Orlando Pirates because now we are well known in cup when it comes to cup tournaments, we give our all. We give our all, our boys fight and they try to do in everything that they have. Most recently, Sibonila bo Rasibocha bedlala, a new combination in the middle, Rasibocha and Dlamini, and that shows the depth of the squad. Yes, there were testwa, but that shows the quality. Yes, we were able to challenge. Going all out, maybe reaching semis, quarters, we will see. I believe in my boys. I believe in the coach. Yeah.
Is this a blessing in disguise to have Ahly right now because you are taking on the strongest team first? And I mean, if you guys make it out of the group, you don't have to face them, but also you get to see strength for strength very early. Do you think it's a good thing that you got Ahly now?
Well, usengayibeka kanjalo ukuthi kuyinto enhle wena Mr. OT. Ngokuthi manje nathi we are challenging ourselves kuma big guns. Sizibone ukuthi how capable are we in going pound to pound nalama team amakhulu, North African teams that are strong. Yabo. Yindlela yokufunda leyo yokukhula. Siyile era because last time ba exposed like we African tournament, whether we confed noma we Champions League. This squad was never. I don't remember any person was on that squad. Maybe Hoto, Abunda, yes, but bayabalega, Mr. OT. Bayabalega, but we can't say Guti Amachita. We expect them to go all out. I mean, to reach the final. Yes, if they can, not underrating performance Yamachita, because we believe in them. Yes, as a fan, we will want them to go all out, but singaba apply pressure. What I'm trying to build here, Uguti, coach wetu, kuma Pirates supporter, we must not overwhelm him near pressure. Nama players. Yes, this is a new stage for them, but we are not just pushing them to it that end. No, guys, we have proven to us what in any read. We are there to give them support. This is how guys need to tell experience. This is why coach Hugo represent South Africa because that you are capable.
So then very quickly, now the last few seconds here. What are you expecting from Pirates? Ufuna, put your neck on the line. Hey, Putiza. What are you expecting from Pirates in the Champions League?
What I can say, Mr. OT, amajita azodlula going to last 8. Lapho kuyokhuluma ukuthi sihlangana nobani.
Okay.
We are not topping the group, but we are going through to the top 8, round of 8.
Okay, that's what I want, guys. Manubekutso, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ngimnandi kunjani Mr. Uti?
But Kimnati. Manubekutso Group C. Ahly Siapelu dad started Abidjan. How do you feel about your group, and what's your expectations for this team in the Champions League?
Strong group, Mr. Uti. The thing about African football, it's that it's consistent in its inconsistencies. So teams mushroom from everywhere. So nale start the Abidjan. Mafika bakugijimisa impela Mr. Uti.
Yeah.
3 points. Bakwenzeni? Maska uhemis. You understand? I mean, Yanga right now.
Saya, can you just mute there, Saya?
Bengekho 3 years back besingayiconsider but sikwazi ukufika la eSouth Africa izogijimisa Sundowns, you understand? And I'm using Sundowns because it's one of the few consistent teams on the continent in terms of appearances. But if Yanga can push Sundowns like that, suddenly Yanga is also a big team. Mazembe had disappeared, suddenly they are in the top 4. So when it comes to African football, I can even say the same about Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns to a certain extent when they took it. Unknown entities, about Petro Luanda. So when it comes to CAF football, Mr. Uti, it's unlike the UCL, where Uti, the final stages, it's probably Real Madrid, Bayern, and a couple of other teams. You understand? Maybe Man City were played. But yeah, we'll have to respect every team that we come across, Mr. Uti. And when you talk about experience, Mr. Uti, only Sanda played in that CAF final. Bandile Shandu was there. Dion Hoto was there. Kabelo Zamini Komkukotlong was there, Mr. Uti. Baning. The goalkeeping staff was there, Mr. Uti. Kona abanyang bakhohlwa, but about Abomnyani, they were part of Pirates at the time. Abomfuking, they are traveling with Bafana, and he's taken like a duck to water. It doesn't look like he's under pressure when he plays for Bafana. In terms of continental football, that's international, but it remains continental either way. So it tells me he won't be a biggest strange fright when it comes to CAF Champions League. We have Abomakhopa, who have played the African Nations Cup or African Cup of Nations, Abosbizi. So I think we have enough, the requisite experience if we're talking travel, if we're talking mind games. We do have a couple of people who've been exposed to such, and we should be able to progress to the next round, but respectfully to the other teams, Mr. Uti. Belauzi Dad, I think they also gave Sundowns a run for their money at some point, but Sundowns did emerge victorious. Al-Ali, Mr. Uti. Al-Ali is 2 separate teams. There's Al-Ali at the group stage.
Yeah.
Then there's Al-Ali at the knockout. You know? So maybe the fact that we play them now gives us a chance to meet them later on. Yeah, I understand them, Mr. Uti. And by the way, Sundowns, just because I'm giving you compliments, guys, you failed to win this thing 10 times. Shut up there in the comments. You are not experts.
Can I ask you, Manubekutso?
Shut up respectfully. Anyway, yes, Mr. Uti.
Can I ask you, Manubekutso? Is there a world where Pirates focuses on the Champions League? Is there a world where they go all out and they try and win this thing outright this season? Or is it just by virtue of everything happening, league first, and then the trophies, and then maybe Champions League, you do relatively well and then go out? Is there a world where it becomes a focus?
The nice thing about the Champions League, Mr. Uti, it comes in patches. So you can shift your focus to a kind of game. Continental football. For example, right now, the Royal League, we'll only get to play group stages of Champions League from November and December, I think, which then would mean in the next month, we have to just buckle up for the league and the Black Label. Then we can sort of shift our attention and give it to CAF, Mr. Uti. And one thing about Pirates, we love the Champions League, Mr. Uti.
Very quickly, Madam, because I think more I'm asking of, let's say you get to quarters, game 2, maybe you've won your first leg, you go into the second leg, maybe you win it, you go through to the semis. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that, league is more important, but at that point, does it become more important? If you look at Gavin Hunt, for example, there was a point where he said, we made the choice to go for the Champions League because I guess it was a little bit easier for them or whatever, but then the league suffered. Is there a point where Pirates goes for that and maybe doesn't play that hard in culling knockout, maybe doesn't play that hard in the league?
It definitely happens where they start fielding a mediator against Pirates and losing in finals. We've seen it before where they start playing Abuzungu because the squad is now thin, exhausted from what happened with CAF. I think when it came to the Nedbank Cup final, mokwena was also exhausted. We could see, it was clear. Centre backs they didn't have. And I'm talking about Sundowns, which is why we managed to beat them. I remember at Triple Zungu, I'm totally contract. Today Zungu remains jobless. So we cannot underestimate what the CAF Champions League can do to you. Some coaches have gone unbeaten, lost on the last day, but today they are jobless, Mr. Oti, because the Champions League will exhaust you, no matter how much you might want it, but it will exhaust you, Mr. Oti. And knowing the Pirates, at some point, we will focus on the Champions League. No more Prastomi, from them Tala Prastomi. I bambuli mi Prastomi again.
Okay, well,
Mr. Oti.
Let me bring in Saya. Saya, you can just unmute there. Saya, you with me? There we go.
Yeah, we was give panel.
Uti draw. Group C draw for Pirates. How do you feel about the Champions League draw?
Mina ngeke ngize ngiqamba manga. I-draw yona ibe tricky party. Ngiqalela Orlando Pirates fan.
Okay.
So i-draw ibe tricky ngendlela mina kade ngifuna i-Sundowns. Draw yakho. So ukuthi inginikeze ufishi osumkhulu kangaka but hayi i-Pirates idlalela ngendlela usuke ungayilindele. So ukuthi sikhulume yes singakhuluma phela ngoba kubalekile ukuthi sikhulume. Kodwa hayi the management we are just all right now. It's right ngabo. Yeah.
Manje leyo management nifuna bayenzeni ku Champions League?
I-Champions League bengahamba ngokusemandleni abo. Yes, singama-fans siyafisa ukuthi sikhombise sehluleke 10 times ukuthi hayi sebadala kunawe. Buye nesesibili kuqala kodwa noma sifisa ngeke kuze kwenzeke ngendlela esuke sifisa ngayo. Kodwa nje hayi i-management ingahamba ngokusemandleni ayo. Isi-achievile ngendlela yayo nayo.
Manje tshela mina Saya, bayitshela mina. Nifika kuma semi-final. Angeke ufune kuyiwina leyo nto or does it still man isemuva nifuna i-league? Khona ngatshintsha khona maybe nifune yona i-Champions League more than i-league.
Masingafika kuma semi-final kungamele silwele i-Champions League more than i-league. But nakho kuzohamba ngokulimaza ngoba uzothola ukuthi so focus let's make nje example yakhumbula ki-Maromo Gallant.
Yeah.
Maromo Gallant be focus kakhulu ki-final more than i-relegation zone lekade ilwa lapha.
Yeah.
So ya end up isishayeka la kade focus khona ukuthi izobuya izophesha khona. Yatholakala ukuthi isi-relegate ngendlela engayiqondi nayo. So mina ngibona nje lokho kulalela coach because ngiyayibuka indlela enza ngayo. Iyazama yena ukubuilda ikwati eziwu2 ngesikhathi esesquad esincane akasitholanga ngaleso sikhathi. So ukuthi kuzokusilekelela ekuthenini sikwazi ukuthi sibe nezikwati ezimbili nathi siyithemba ukuthi hayi ushowcase lo.
Ngiyakuzwa but okay, ithi ngibuze so would it be fine if in pillar number 6, end of the season, mara nasi star singenile? Zoba mnandi or kuzoba buhlungu uthini ngale?
Kuzoba mnandi kakhulu ngoba akulahlekanga konke. Exist khona esikutholile kwakhona okulahlekayo kungamnandi kakhulu. Cause imali singayithola lapha imodern league vele.
Okay, no, sire. Thank you, sire. Let me use this time. We're gonna go to the next panel, guys. Please tap the screen. We're getting to 40,000. For the next panel, we're speaking Group C, Orlando Pirates started Abidjan, CR Belouizdad, Ahly. That was the draw. I want to hear from you guys how you feel about this draw. So let me bring in some more Pirates fans. I wanna focus on Pirates fans. We're gonna do Mamelodi Sundowns and their group at 8 o'clock. So let me see who's here. And then I can bring in people. Oh, guys, tap the screen while you're there. We're trying to get. I want 50,000 tonight, 50,000 likes tonight. That's what I want tonight. So please, tap the screen. Let me start off. Prasem, Spiro.
Eita.
Salili ko Africa, man. Libuas French.
I'm on Africa, not just Spain. Someone like Africa. Hey, man. Africa.
Okay, Prasem, Troya Luna. Ahly, Belouizdad started Abidjan. We want to join Group A, and what are the expectations for your team?
Now I'm very happy. I wanted Egypt. I wanted to deal with Egypt because our head-to-head is on our favor. So, Tanzania. But then I will take Ahly for now and then. Belouizdad, I'm not sure about them. I don't know much about them, but and then in terms of the group, I think we will compete, man. We'll compete. We have a good squad. We're a good team. We're not afraid of anyone in this continent. So they can bring anyone, and then we'll take them on.
Yeah. So then what? Yeah. Okay. No. Go.
And I'm gonna tell. I mean, at the time, I look at the first leg, Champions League. Problem kura abantu abazwa zangena ngapha zaphuma ngapha. Angithi noma ngibengazi ukuthi kuzenzakala ukuthi siya second leg siya abantu. Kari MTN 8, we don't have to play this. You can put us in the final and then we'll deal with the best team out of the best. So they say we must play, and then we played, we beat everyone. 3-1, second 3-1, first round 3-1. Second round semi-final 3-1, final 3-1. Wonke umuntu ul-3. Awona umuntu 3-3. So now I was waiting for Champions League basically. MTN 8 I knew well it's ours.
So then, if you get, let's say, Lifitakori semi-finaling, does it become more important than the league?
The league is more important, regardless of the financials, because you can't conquer Africa without conquering South Africa. You must conquer South Africa first, then you conquer Africa. For me,
Mara, if you don't get a chance, if you don't get a chance again.
No, obviously we'll get a chance. What do you mean we don't get a chance?
Kabutza.
From now on, that's what I'm around. Those days are gone. Now we are Orlando Pirates, the Pirates that we know. So I'll prefer us to win the league this season, and then next season, then we can try to compete. But if we take both, I'll be happy. But if I would choose one, I would choose the league.
You choose the league. Okay, so then you finished number 5, Marali, in a Champions League. Are you happy, Prasad?
I'm not sure. I can be happy. It's a problem, but yeah, I'll take it. Okay, Oti, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's say we're number 5, you win Champions League. Next season, are you going to the Champions League?
No, but you might go to a Club World Cup.
Nah, Club World Cup, hey. It's like a scam, but I see what they cancel. There are no sponsors. Hey?
No, I'm just going with what I see here.
Come June, you'll see film when. On a Club World Cup go.
Okay, Prasad, let me bring in Mukhari, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good and you.
Mukhari, what do you feel about Group C? Pirates in the Champions League. What's your reaction to the draw and what are your expectations for this team?
Now I'm a super sport fan.
Okay.
Developer, Sundowns. You know when we say Sundowns, but we're talking about super sport, and we are proud to say that.
Yeah.
My Pirates, Pirates, it's on a lemon lo ola wa paraffin, you understand? So, for now, I think when it comes to a Betway, we cannot say they can take the cup or the league.
Yeah.
Mara, re tla no fa credit because bona ke re ba dlala ba 12 ka mo ground on. So re tla ba fa credit or as long as they continue playing ba 12, maybe ba ka ba number 2. But when it goes outside outside South Africa, we have VAR. Outside Nigeria, ja o dlala le 12 ka mo gare wa nkusha. Whatever is happening, we stop again. We check before we take decisions. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, don't forget bafana ba South Africa aba khona udlala di tournament di one.
Yeah.
Because now they must play for Betway, they must go for CAF, they must come for the cup. So now I will say Pirates or concentrate on more cup, not league, more cup on the black label, maybe battle for the black label. Black label so that when we close the season next year, let's celebrate like a season early black label. Because CAF salva drainer fatigue, and if you lose black label, league yona like I say bafana ba ka tla number 2 because it's about 12.
Kopa go botsa Mukhari, as a Supersport fan, Supersport has taken part go CAF Confed a lot of times, and there has been effect man ko gae hore you've been playing that side sometimes la safara ko leaking. Can you speak to the Pirates fans maybe who believe that bakadi wina kaofela? Is it possible, and how do you see the season playing out for Pirates?
Udwina kaofela, it's a line for team ya tshwana le Pirates. They can go and ask Sundowns or after Sundowns, the reason why they can win 2 or more is because they don't have one group. If they have 11, they have another 11 that is the best, and the third 11 that is the best. So Pirates, they don't have that. They can have the first and the second, not the third. So meaning if the 2 groups Java affected, it will be Shaya, but we are Mohan. So now my advice go, they must just concentrate on the first one. The first one ke cup. Like a cup, and by have something to say. Hey, Mola Rinal Paraffin, at least to win this one. Because Pirates and Chiefs to salva like it is seasonal team. The winner this season now fetch up team like my colors on color. So now I can jealousy Braspiro, understand or Caspedi Barre, hello Cabbage will celebrate before they were, understand. So it's your season. Enjoy young guys, but not for cup, not for league.
Okay. Let me bring you Beline. Mtakama, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello.
Marasocho nchitoka sinje mar.
The only winner of CAF Champions League, not via backdoor.
Nazo. Beline, Group C, we want to how did you react to this thing? What are your expectations for this team?
No, Samba Soto mtakababa. Sesingamane simiyeke ke lapha ku Black Label Cup. Honestly magesi lapha so thumela abanye. Wasibhekene nengwaza la sibhekene umsebenzi onzima. Mele solungisa umsebenzi wethu lapha esawuqala ngoba sathumela abantu for the past 10 years. Ayikho into abayenzile babuya nama quarter final nama semi final.
Yeah.
Way bakhuluma ngakhona ungafunga ukuthi bayiwina kayi5. So yosibambela thina mathuba sikhathele ukuthumela. So I'll tell you that now I beg the blame, you turn a futhi and we are going to win. I like this fire. No matter.
manje niphelela phi kule competition Velile ngoba ngiyezwa abanye amabhakaniya man they're saying or hey this one is not important asinandaba nayo sifuna league noma singaphuma quarter final noma singashaywa as long as win league si fine. Do you agree with that?
No, ngiyavumelana phela kwesisikhathi isithi akumelanga usitshengise ukuthi sipha kumele sisikhulume kanjalo phela khona bazojabula phela laba abanye laba bakhopha khulu bake bawina i-Caf Champions League kanengi bawuthi abakhuluma nabo bazocela nge-World Cup yabo ibe nhlobo ethi bayivakashe emakhaya bayithumile bazokuthi angithumele ibhande lami le iskipa sami se ibhuku lami le yibo but thina siyawina ukuthi safika quarter final safika quarter final siyayithatha mdababa sabantu abaqopha umlando isikhathi so qala ukuqopha thina umlando oqoshwa yithi siyozibambela thina mathupha
manje baniwina ngale angeke nisafare la ekhaya
akunandaba noma singasafaka la ekhaya sesilwinile icup this season sishap abanye abawolweni la mayakhona that's grand so we're going for the big one now my says you are the first team start 3 days winning the cup team so that's start two sasilanda ngempela sasithola the only team yasithola correctly stars zange siya manga business straightly and we don't brag even about that siyakwazi lokho sikujwayele sasithola sesithu only umuntu wasibhayizisa erecting abantu rojadlisa basikhosa laba bantu babaluza wonke ama-final on that season so nje this one ngiyathemba ukuthi hayi mntaka babayi ngehla ibesawatuka
nenzani ngo-Tuesday then let me ask you that question nenzani ngo-Tuesday this year uyasayina uyahamba does this matter
yabona le inkinga le baba uyazi phela sometimes amanye ama-coach abanye bayathanda ukuhamba basawina and noma ngathi nizama kanjani ukuthi especially futhi mangabe nimyeke ningamsayinisi i-contract asasena 2 seasons as-SL sekuyokugcina so most of these overseas coaches they tend to do that ungamangala nje uzothu uyahamba and then sogcina siblame ukhoza but he felt ukuthi naye usebenzile nesekadinga ekhaya wasiyambona bangathi sinomngane wakhe lo munye ahambile umnandi but akasimnandi yena ngiyabona but so umsebenzi wethu ukuminya nje ukuthi asayine nje nkosami mhlawumbe amnike i-offer emconvince ukuthi angahambi phela once noma bathi 1 season phela bese asithathele into yethu laba sizovina abantu ukuthi bangasaphinde bakhulume empilweni yabo baseyakhona ukuzenzela bazibambela
kuthi wena ubeliever ukuthi those tears he was crying man ama-tears wokuthi bye
ngiyawacabanga ndoda mangibone ezoyinyembezi azangiphathe kahle ngoba ngiyilezi kwayibonezi ukuthi emotional I've done it now I'm okay iyathusa leyo because vela ngagcina vela ahambile babhizi bayabhala la abathukana ngazi ukuthi bayiwinile iCAF bayiwina ngomgunyathi 10 years ago they never even reached final for the past 10 years Kaizer Chiefs i-reachile final idlala ngamaplayer ku-MDC there's nothing special about this one squad 400 million i-Chiefs ifike ku-final nge-MDC players abongcoba umashiyana ayikho into abazoyikhuluma la we are going there we are going to concentrate on CAF and win it sibatshengisa ukuthi wina kanjani we have done it before against and fair and square bangakhohlwa lokho we have done it before fair and square
okay
mangabuluza udepend uzovela ngama-cup ukuthi wadlala ama-cup ayengakhethi i-CAF Champions League le ngiyidlalayo mina le enguyo bana 10 years badlala constantly every season they've never reached a final i-Chiefs ingene kayi-1 after 10 years ku-final nama-player e-DC they must just shut up.
So then for the last minute Velile ngifuna ukubuza I want to ask you this question if Jose then leaves ngicalela phansi next year or kusazoqhubeka phambili what's going to happen to Pirates then if uJose uyahamba uhamba nawo lamakhapu or uncikazi uzokhona ukubamba does the expectations reset
kunzima yazi uqala phansi ndoda ngoba no if uyahamba uJose I think maybe Pirates should look for another one they've done it they've hired uJose without anyone knowing him besingamazi that's why athi makafika players ama-support amaningi amnika amagama nanani because we didn't know what he has done before he was in one anything nanani but it's a matter of just giving them a chance and an opportunity and see what the other one will bring but on this one man imphatha kabuhlungu because vele makahamba uzobahambe ama-cup wakhe and isebenzile angeke sikufihlo lokho. He's one of the best coaches that has ever coached in a short space of time. Sekawina ama-cup angaka but mina nginethemba elikhulu kuye lokuthi le cup le laba abaparticipate ama-participant wala khuluma kakhulu akalwini uzositholela lona ngasibuyela nalo kuphela. Akunambuzo engizowuphendula ukuthi 8 years ngidlala how many cup, it doesn't matter. What matters ukuthi the only African champions from South Africa that won it fair and squarely, not via backroom.
Let me go. Guys, before I go to Hansel, in the comments, does Jose stay? Because I'm starting to feel like that Jose is going to leave. And what happens to Pirates? Let me go to Hansel. Hansel, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Uti, how are you, my brother?
Man, I'm good. Here's the Champions League draw. Pirates is in a group with Ahly. How do you feel about the draw, and what are your expectations for Pirates this season in the Champions League?
Thank you again, Mr. Uti, and everyone in the live. Good evening, guys. Personally, for me, I'm very happy about the draw. First and foremost is my point is each and every team that is in the group stages, they all deserve to be there, right?
Yeah.
So there's no outright winner so far. We cannot just say which team is gonna win, which team is not gonna win, because all the teams qualified and all they got there on merit. So, and the other thing that I like the most is Pirates for now is seen as an underdog. You know, most of the time when you go and play and you are seen as an underdog, it becomes an advantage to you, right? Yeah, and I hear a lot of people talking about experience and all those kind of stuff, but sometimes you need to understand that experience doesn't necessarily guarantee results. There are teams that have been playing there, not necessarily the Sundowns. I mean, other teams from other countries also. They've been there in the Champions League. Yeah, consistently, but they are not winning. You understand? So it shows even though they are playing year in and year out, still they are not winning. It basically means that it's for the taking. It's anyone for the taking. Anyone can win it. I'm not. The only thing that concerns me is the last point that you're talking about of Jose, because when he signed for Pirates, he said he does not believe a coach should stay in one team for more than 3 seasons. Right. So when you mention that fact, I think if he does go, it might cause a little bit of imbalance. But with Manova, I think with Vilakazi, because he has been working closely with him, I don't think he will be that arrogant to quickly change the setup, because I get they are working together. And when Jose leaves, I think it's going to be the only one that leaves. The analyst and everything else, they're going to remain behind. And I think also if he leaves, I think maybe because I've seen a lot of fans saying Benny should take the reins. Maybe he might come in and co-coach it. I don't know, but so far I don't see much of a problem in the group stages. I'm very happy with our draw. Yeah.
So then does it become important at some point? So I feel like all the Pirates fans that have been speaking, and some in the comments here, man, like if you don't care that much about the Champions League, is there a point where the Champions League becomes more important than the league? Maybe you get to, you just finished that quarterfinal in Winile. Does it become more important than the league at some point, or is the league the most important thing this season, no matter what?
I think the way I see it, both of them, they are very important, because it's been a very long time without winning either one, right?
Yeah.
So for me, my wish, I can only wish, I cannot predict. I can only wish we can go for both, right? We can go for both and go as far as possible, because winning the Champions League will also help our league, because we also need to have more than 16 teams. We cannot have a league that has 16 teams and is rated to be the best in Africa, but we still have 16 teams. At least if you get 20 or 18 teams, it would be better. So I believe we can go for both. It's anybody's game.
Okay, all I'm saying is that on the Pointer League, man, there's a very, very important person, Pirates, who can make that decision. almost by himself. But it's okay. It's okay. Let me go to Vuyo. Vuyo, welcome to the show. How are you?
How are you, my brother? Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening to everyone.
No, Vuyo, how do you feel about the draw that Pirates got, Group C? What should the expectations be for Pirates? And how do you react to Ahly and CR Belouizdad and Stade d'Abidjan being in this group with Pirates?
Let me be professional, OT. Ne? I only fucking because I can be disrespectful sometimes. Orlando Pirates, the group that they are in, according to me, with the experience that I saw the CAF Champions League during all of these years, it's unpredictable, the group stages sometimes, OT. You can say Orlando Pirates not qualified, they can surprise you, make it at number 2. But number 1 in that group, it's Ahly, you like it or not. Ahly gonna took the spots there. With the and then Pirates is gonna compete with the team of Khanye, the Algerian team.
Yeah.
So they are going to compete with that team for the second spot. Yeah, that is definitely sure. But it will depend when Pirates going away, how they are going to win their games or to compete. Yes, the Champions League, as some of the people they are saying, you can go 7 years, 10 years, whatever, competing in the Champions League. Champions League is a big competition. Even teams, you can underrate them during the group stage. They can surprise you winning the CAF Champions League. And sometimes you don't need to play beautiful football. You need a strategy how you win your games. And another thing, OT, that is esibulalayo kahle kahle. Lama traveling lawa, OT ayakhathaza. Ayatrain emaplaying. Question yami engayi-understand manje. And ngibonile this weekend. Orlando Pirates struggle without Unda. It's either you like it or not, you can say whatever. Ubona ukuthi Unda akekho la. So Unda makangekho, uMakhawule angekho, okay, kuzoba nabo team, but it won't be the same. Abafana labantu.
Okay.
Yabo. So ngisafuna ukuyibona NMN OT. I'm very very happy with the Orlando Pirates balaphaya. I'm very very happy because I feel like sometimes you are a big team competing just in lama small cup like South Africa kuphela, but you are a big team. Why you face the real cup outside there so that you feel ukuthi kunjani le uye ukukhuluma kakhulu naye Ahly fikile manje. Ifikile Ahly ungajwayeli 57 fan Sundowns kuphela. You must feel ukuthi kuba red stadium kunjani. Stadium ku red. Hayi lento yenenenza bo half stadium nithi ma big team le kuyagcwala OT. Full. Labakhuluma kakhulu basazobona.
Ufuna ukubuza something Vuyo.
Yeah.
Is there an advantage for Pirates ukuthi essentially they're new la ku Champions League? So for example, the Chiefs when it was new, they got to a final. But by the time man mabuya goes 2, 3, 4, they start reading you a little bit better like Africa, and maybe that's why Sundowns have struggled. How do you feel about that? Is this the time where Pirates man kumele zami win?
Hayi OT phela kunento enyenzayo mistake enkulu. I-Orlando Pirates ne-Kaizer Chiefs wonke umuntu uyawazi lama team sekusele amagama lawa ukuthi makhulu, so ba-aware ngalama team lawa ukuthi kune-team eSouth Africa, Orlando Pirates ne-Kaizer Chiefs, so they are not new, they know.
Mara ngisho ukudlala I mean bababonile
kujwayele ukuthi abekho mnandi. Bababonile. What is this? The first game was joining the other game. Labo fishermen laba bekucala laba badrawile nabo bababonile ukuthi hayi laba we can take a draw kibo akusi stress. Uthi bababonile uthi ku Champions League onke ama games, by the way, once it televisor or something abantu bayayirecorda, abantu they go for abo YouTube benza ama video analyst ukuthi sidlala nabo bandla basazi story sabo na, or abantu abo finder or kuwina ngabo Pratom abekho le, unfortunate le akuna Pratom le kuyadlalwa le kuyadlalwa le, so ziyokhala le OT indaba le ukuthi ucabanga ukuthi Champions League MTN 8 ayisebenzi le away uyafila ukuthi la awukho ekhaya la kunama light benza yonke into OT ama games bayawa change bawafake kuma venue whereby you not able ukuthi uthole transport easy but delay but they do something always it's only like South Africa whereby uyeza ufika uthole yonke into uyazenzela kama miyangichaza is the only country the other countries OT bazokufaka ebhasini baqede lapho benze itraffic la bazikhona ukuthi wena uzondlula khona so all the tactics siwazwile le Africa and thina vele angithi thina simarana sapha khona sihleze sikhona ne Ahly by the way laba bangazi OT ngibheka isikhathi sami la Ahly since ikile Ahly yawuhlala 7 years by the way ingayiwini CAF those are the facts abantu abaspenda 100 million a year not abayiklinayo not abayiklinayo sibeke straight abayiklini angithi bathi siyayiclean
allegedly hey ndingangifaki inkingeni
yaza ukho lapho but la kule group le OT la kule group le ziyokhala kule group le uzosho thingishile and by the way I black label yami OT ye Sundowns I black label relax out yami
sizayibona sizakhuluma ngayo Vuyo. Thank you so much. Guys, I wanna come in quickly. These are my thoughts about this Pirates thing. Pirates playing in Group C and Ahly and all of that stuff. Number one, it's always nice to get Ahly in the group stages, because when you get Ahly in the group stages, at least, man, you can gauge your strength, especially for a team that's coming in after a little bit of time since they've been in the Champions League last time, proper. And you get to avoid them later on. So that's always a benefit. Guys, next panel is going to be about Sundowns. We're going to speak about Sundowns, so please. But then, here's the interesting part. Pirates right now. Jose Rivero's in his third year. As somebody said here, Jose Rivero, after 3 years, he had said that no coach should stay for 3 years in a team, for example. It's something that he said, right? So now you're in a situation where he's won the 5 trophies in the 3 years. But now people are expecting the league and the Champions League. And maybe the closest thing is the league, right? The closest thing that they can do is the league. You expect them to take the next step. They've been finishing second. Maybe they prioritize that thing. They close the gap on Sundowns. They can't even want to close the gap because maybe Jose might leave. But then you also have the Champions League. And the Champions League, the nice thing about it is when you're an unknown entity, and I know people are going to say, hey, you can watch the games and whatever. Yeah, I think it's different to play. But if you look at the Kaizer Chiefs, my team got to a final in a year when we were in a transfer ban, in a time when, we couldn't sign, we were doing badly in the league. And Gavin said that, no, that one is a little bit easier to play because it's slow, it's ugly, all of that stuff. But the point I'm making is, this would be the best time for Pirates to strike, I believe, because once they start seeing you and they start knowing you and they see your tricks and all of that stuff, it's a lot harder to go out and win it after that. So I think if Pirates have a very interesting crossroads this season where I believe something has to be sacrificed. It's either a league has to be sacrificed and you go for the Champions League, or you sacrifice the Champions League and go for the league. Some of these trophies, knockout, you might even have to sacrifice those things too to balance it out. Because I don't necessarily believe that Pirates' bench is so strong that you can field 2 separate teams. And there comes a time, you see it with Sundowns, where it gets hot everywhere. It's hot in the Champions League. It's hot in the league because you have to go and keep winning those games. It's hot Kuma Cup. And I don't know if Pirates can do it year one. The only problem is that will there be another year after Rivero if he leaves? Because I'm also hearing this thing Yoguti Rivero might leave now, and I'm wondering what how guys matter. Why would But if it's how he views it, then that's how it is. What happens next year? What happens next year if Rivero leaves and you have to start over and a new coach? Do you reset? There's so many questions, very, very interesting questions this season. But I personally, I don't believe that you can go for everything full out, if that makes sense. No, Wahib, I'm not crying. It's things people have said. I'm reacting to things people have said. I never thought of it, but some people came on and spoke about maybe even he saying 3 years or him crying or whatever. That's what I'm saying, that hey, if something happens, what goes there? Okay, guys, let me get in the next panel, please, guys. Sundowns. We are speaking Sundowns in Group B. Raja Casablanca, AS FAR Club, AS Maniema Union from Congo, and then of course Mamelodi Sundowns, Raja Casablanca, 3 times winners of the Champions League. AS FAR Club, very good in the Women's Champions League, but coming into this team, Raja of course was coached by Zimbabwe last season, went invincible, the invincible team in Africa, and then he's left. AS FAR have also lost their coach. Their coach was Nesrili Nebi. So they're on a little bit of shaky ground, but people are calling this group the group of death. So let me let in some people. Let's have a conversation about where Sundowns lands. Remember, guys, if you're in the queue right now, we are speaking about Sundowns. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey. Sorry about that. I'm going to do 2 panels. So everybody gets 5 minutes, guys. You'll get 5 minutes to say your piece. I'll ask you a question. Let's please respect time for the other speakers as well. Let me let in some people that haven't spoken yet. Gustavo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? Gustavo, how do you feel about Mamelodi Sundowns' group? And what are the expectations for Sundowns this year?
Okay, before I go any further.
Guys, please mute when you come in. Please mute when you come in.
As Mamelodi Sundowns, we are proud. We are proud to reach the final ngomgunyati. As Orlando Pirates should be also proud. They won the league in 94 ngomgunyati. Kaizer Chiefs was supposed to win the league in that year, and Pirates they won ngomgunyati. That's how they afforded to go to CAF the following year and win it. So 50-50, siyafana. Corruption one way. Same WhatsApp group. We sibona kubo, sibukela kubo. Sibukela kubo. But it's gonna be a tough group. It's gonna be a tough group for Mamelodi Sundowns at the states that we are in currently. We are not as dominant on the pitch. We are not as dominant on the pitch. So allegedly OT. But yeah. But it's gonna be a tough group for us. It's gonna be a tough group. I won't lie. It's gonna be a tough group at the state that we're in as a team. And you look at our performances against the big teams and on the big stage. We are not that far off in margin. We've played like 2 top clubs currently. We played Stellenbosch, which had the number on us, the MTN. We played also Kaizer Chiefs. With the Kaizer Chiefs, there's no small team or big team. It's one of those games whereby you treat them like a final. Whereby it's a 50-50 game, anyone can win it. So you look at our performances against those 2 teams, you are like, we need that domination, especially in the group stages. We need that domination because we are faced with big teams now. We are faced with big teams. As much as Raja, fine. They've been successful, in the previous years. They've been successful, AS now, Rawat. Now, it's a team that's doing well in their league. So it's gonna be tough for us. It's gonna be tough for us. So I hope Coach Mangoba has a plan, and I want to see the plan being executed. And it would be nice, winning our group and winning it by a margin. Winning it by a margin without having to worry that if this team wins, if this team doesn't win. And most of the teams, they are looking at the Sundowns to go out in the group stages. That's what most of the big teams are looking at. Because the threat to... Yes.
No, I wanted to ask you, so tell me, is the do or die Champions League because Rulani was fired because he didn't reach those goals? Are those goals still around for Mangoba? Because it's sounding like, man, you're not convinced that this season you can win it. Do the goals still stay the same?
Yes, the goal still stays the same. You have to dominate the league, win your domestic league, and that proves you're a big club in the country. You have to perform well also. Like if you look at our Sundowns now, there are memes now about Sundowns in that group. Sundowns is seen as the big team in that group. You know, they are seen as the most dominant team in that group. So a bar has been set. You know, as much as rulani is still gone, but a bar has been set. You know, you don't have to make it easy. You mustn't make it easy for the other teams. You must just show up. You know, it's do or die for Coach Mangoba in the CAF Champions League. You know, we're not sure what's been discussed in the background, but it's do or die for him.
Okay. So what does Sundowns have to do to win the Champions League? I mean, we're speaking now of what, 8-9 years since you guys won it. What must happen as one of the big teams in Africa, one of the more respected teams, maybe we'll say one of the top 4 teams in Africa? The other guys are winning this trophy year in and year out. What does Sundowns have to do to win it this year?
This is how the other guys are winning it, OT. And this is what Sundowns hasn't been doing much of. We play 2 legs, right? You play two legs. And if you look at your teams like Ahly, they score in the away games. They make sure that they score in the away games. That's the key to winning the stage. Make it out of the group stages and in the knockout stages, score in the away games. You know, if you score in the away games, you have a slight advantage. You know, when you are back at home. You know, you just have to also dominate the game at home, then win it. Then look at that goal advantage. Make sure that you get a clean sheet at home. You know, that's key. That's how your Ahly's have been doing it, by scoring away. If you score away, you stand a higher chance in winning. You know, higher chance of getting to the final. And that has been the problem for Mamelodi Sundowns.
For time's sake, let me jump in and bring in Khanye. So welcome to the show. How are you? Hey, you sound far away. I don't know if it's earphones.
Am I audible?
You're very, very low.
Oh, okay. Am I audible now?
It's getting better, but we're not there yet.
Okay, yeah. Let me try.
That's better. How do you feel? Welcome, my brother. How do you feel about the group that Sundowns has been drawn in, and what are the expectations for this year?
Sundowns, the Champions League, like they've been passing our group for years now. Even tough groups, they've been. You understand? They've been meeting the Ahly every time Guma group stage, except I think last season.
Yeah.
But they've been beating and being consistent when it comes to our group stages. But the problem is one, Jengo, the previous speaker, they don't win their away games when they come to our knockout stages. The problem is then they have that mindset of must figure go home. What's the statement? Peter, whatever the stadium they have that
Lucas Moripe.
Like example, if you can check last season, the decisions nazienzayo, Mangpega Champions League form. I'm not a Pirates fan, but Champions League the time ne Young Lions from semi-final. Is that the problem yakhe magadlala ku away udlalisa team ye defensive yokuthi okay we'll score 1 or maybe so draw, and then when we go to home and Kana will go with full force. Into yenza ukuthi Sundowns ingawin Champions League. That's their problem. They don't win away games. They mindset yabo into ukuthi away will zama ukuthi store or restore 1 then yana. Can't if you win both sides, beka le Real Madrid the way win kanjani, they dominate home and away. You understand? So when they play with North Africa, my countries to away, man a problem kakhulu win away games. And Champions League, if you want to win it, especially Africa, must dominate both away and home. Because they have a squad, they have everything, they have a depth, but their problem are away games. Even if I check out these years, and if you can check, but lose a semi-final.
Yeah,
it tells you they struggle when it comes to away. When they are home, they dominate. Then after to tell about capitalize some chances swap, then badly. That's their problem. Yeah. And the Champions League Champions League into you can have a depth with everything. Ungaba ne squad eshisayo mara ukuwina ama tactics. nokucabanga and brains, because you can have every player, star players, but if you don't use brains and tactics, uzodliwa Champions League. Because if ngabheka, let me make an example, a simple example. Look at Orlando Pirates. Every time my Puma group stages, iya ku final. Check out our CAF Confederation. The time you Puma group stages, they go to the final. If you are like in my states, if it's no, let's say now it's the next Champions League. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's who's this Michu Strineda up group stages. But if you can check Pirates, if they get out group stages, they are likely to go to figure final. That's what I know now. But when it goes to Sundowns, the problem here, it's the same thing in Man City. They've been winning, but dominate, but win but when Champions League, they struggle. So what I'm trying to say here, you can have is tactics to win the Champions League and thinking and mindset. That's all. It's not about having a depth, because you can have a depth, but you're still struggling like Sundowns.
Very quickly. Does Mangoba's style cage? Because a lot of people said maybe Rulani is the one who has an issue. Does the new style win them the league? Win them the Champions League?
Yeah, Umangoba, his style has changed but there are some decisions that marketing has made. Flop straight. Flop because why ngisho kanjalo lento le yakhe ungafaki uMkwena is going to kill him. Mokwena is anchor. Yeah, the team. It's an anchor of the team. So putting who's this Rivaldo over him, he's making a big mistake, and Marawa is going to be affecting him. You understand? Because yes, Mozwana, I understand Guti is trying to build Mozwana. You can't rely on Mozwana. But he's getting older. He needs to check. Okay, if I don't have Zwane, what can I do? What Mokwena? No.
Yeah. For time's sake, I'm gonna have to jump in. Thank you, Khatiso. Yeah. I don't know why you're outside at this time, my guy, but it's okay. For let me go to Spa. Welcome to the show. How are you? Mane, but it's okay. Spa, how do you feel about Mamelodi Sundowns' group, and what's the expectations for this year?
I think they're gonna push themselves too hard, and then they're gonna cause themselves to default. Because from Rulani to Umangiti, that's a downgrade. It's not an upgrade. Let's just face it. That's a downgrade. That's not an upgrade. Rulani went on to, I think, a lot of games undefeated. How long it took Mangawanga to get defeated? That's first. I think the thing that caused Sundowns not to succeed more from winning the CAF in 2016 is they wanted to be the giant of Africa, conquer South Africa, and then conquer the continent of it. You, as you said, you have to prioritize one.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that luxury in South Africa where we've got I think the only position in South Africa where we've got everything sorted out, it's a goalkeeper where we've got goalkeeper coach, we've got everything in that position where we even got we always have a better goalkeeper every year because we always had good goalkeeper coach. But it was coming to strikers, midfield where you create your best playmaker. We've got few of that. And if you wanna conquer South Africa, there's too many domestic games, including the league, and then there's harsh conditions in Africa, of which Africa is more physical, and we're very lacking on physicality. We're very good players, of which Rolani's ball was brilliant, possession football, which was brilliant. He changed South African football, but there's harsh conditions in Africa. Physically, we're lacking. There's different conditions in Africa where we're not exposed into. But so if you're gonna want to be everywhere and win everything and be the invincible, it's not gonna work. You have to prioritize one. And I think that's the problem.
Can I ask you something? Earlier you spoke about the downgrade and upgrade. Does coaching quality matter when it comes to continental competitions? I mean, Carlo Ancelotti has X amount of Champions Leagues, but you know, every year, man, Kemang, who was that guy who won it for Chelsea? A random year. Sometimes those things happen. Di Matteo, and then Gavin Hunt has gotten Chiefs to the semis of the Champions League before being removed. Does coaching quality matter, and is that what was holding Sundowns back, or is it something different?
It does. It does, because if you trace back to how many coaches have reached the final and won the thing anyway, Pitso is one of them. He's done it with different teams. I think you mentioned Zimbabwe. You mentioned there was, I think Rudolf Kroll did it in Pirates, and he reached a final with Pirates, and then he won it with another team in Africa. There is few coaches, if you trace back, that dominate. So coaching quality does count as well. Because if you check how many coaches dominate, in the list of 10, you're gonna get similar faces into the top 5 where they've done with different clubs.
Okay.
Of which we know how good Gavin Hunt is in South Africa. It's not surprising for him to go and reach the final for the quality coach that he is and the experience that he has. Because also, experience counts everywhere. You can't buy experience. You can't buy experience.
Okay. Spa, for time's sake, let me bring in Ace. Ace, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good day, Mr. OT and the overthinkers of football.
Ace, what's your reaction to this group that Sundowns is in? Raja Casablanca, AS FAR Club, AS Maniema Union, and what's the expectations for Sundowns this year in the Champions League?
No, man, to put it very light, I'll say Sundowns has a very competitive team.
Okay.
And it's all balanced in all sectors. When you look at the defense, when you look at the upfront with the likes of Ribeiro and the likes of Silas that has been signed, Hodisang, I think Sundowns is ready to compete in the season. When we look further in the last season that they came from, I think what helped Sundowns the most is that the character that they had, the mental capacity to overdo things, and they gelled very well because of the understanding. It actually enhanced them to actually bring it through towards the national team. So looking at Sundowns right now, I think they are ready to compete, and they are balanced in all sectors, and their signings and depth that they have, it will make them to actually reach new heights.
Well, can I ask you, why hasn't Sundowns' experience won them more of these Champions Leagues? Because now we're speaking about one of the teams that is seen as the big dog in African football. But, you know, the other big dogs are winning multiples of these. Ahly, I think, has won 4 of the last 5. Wydad won 2 in the last 7 years or something like that. What's holding Sundowns back? And can Mangoba be the one to move them forward?
To be quite frank, you know, when we look at our league games and competitive matches such as your UEFA Champions League, it's a different approach. So the type of football and approach that they need to bring forth, they don't need to have an element of surprise, but they need to be fierce in terms of have more mental capacity, more mental strength to actually go forward. I think moving forward, yes, Rulani has left. This is a new era for Mangoba. And I think moving forward, the players need to welcome that and give Mangoba a chance and change the mentality towards how to approach the games and listen to the coach and technical direction.
Do you trust Mangoba to do it?
My brother, this is football. Anything is possible. Did you trust that Pirates will win this game? Looking at how still is played, I guess not. So to be quite honest, I think there is an element of surprise here. So I think we as a nation should open our hearts to what Mangoba is planning and give them a chance. And respecting the coach actually goes way much better to enhance the team, you know. I mean, when you look at what Rulani did, Rulani believed in his players. Rulani made these players to believe in themselves. I think if you are given a chance by a coach, and if a coach believes in you and you believe in the process, I think the team will actually succeed. So looking at the Sundowns team, it's got a lot of depth. I think what it's short there, it's a little bit of energy that needs to come from the senior players. And yeah, I think they stand a chance to actually win this.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I saw a little blip there. Let me bring in Utakaran. Jakaran, welcome to the show. How are you?
Mr. OT. How are you,
So-
Mr. OT?
But I'm good. Tell me, your team is with the Raja, Esfar. Hey, how do you feel about the group and what are the expectations this year? Because when you fired Rulani, man, there were things said in a in a clip that came, I think, in a statement from the club. Does that still apply?
It doesn't apply. Eh? You must forget Rulani is gone. You must just forget it. Rulani is gone. Eh, these people are telling us about Rulani. Rulani is gone. It's time for Manova, man. Manova's ball is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but coming to the group, Mr. Oti, I don't think this is the group of death. I don't think so. They have the Red Devils. They're not gonna come out alive. Obashaya 4-0 first game. 4-0. They'll be coming. Making excuses and what. For me, this is not the group of death, Mr. Oti. In the last 3 years, Raja has never been in the final or semi-finals. You know, you look at the SFA, also the same thing, and the other ones are the newcomers from Mali, if I'm not mistaken.
From the
Nigeria,
Congo.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
From Congo, yeah, they are the newcomers from Congo. So I don't think it's the group of death for me. I think Sundowns, it's gonna be not a piece of cake, but I expect them to come out as the group leaders here. How many times have we played Raja? Maybe 2-3 times.
Okay.
You know, I think maybe they are the ones that can fight with us. You know, in that number 1 spot, but not really. I see them coming number 2, finishing number 2. Yeah, for me, it's not a group of death. We must prove to those ones. Sorry, we've been here. We did it before.
So I want to ask you that. You've been here before. It's been 8 seasons. You guys are widely regarded as one of the top teams in Africa. What's stopping Sundowns from emulating what Ahly has done, emulating what Wydad has done? Yes, Tunis, I think, won back-to-back years ago. What's stopping Sundowns from getting a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th star? What has been holding you back, and how do you change it this season?
I think it's the mentality of trying too hard. You know, I think we try too hard to such a point that we want to change the style, we want to change this, we're coming with this, we're coming with different tactics, you know, and at the end of the day, we find ourselves in the semis or in the quarterfinal, and now we're like, which tactic must we use? You see, I think that's the problem that we have. I think this season we need to stick. One thing that I like about Umangobane is the fast football that he introduced. I think it's one thing that we can relate in our Ahly, Navo Wydad, Navo Raja, because they play that quick counter attack, quick football. You know, 10 minutes in, goal, 1-0. I think that's one element that Mangoba is bringing that is good. You know, maybe some few decisions regarding players. But we're gonna get it right. I think we can say to ourselves, let's not take in a lot of tactics that are going to distract us. Let's just stick into one thing to say this is how the African football is played. You know, let's play that way.
So if Mangoba doesn't win this Champions League, is he fired?
Yeah, Magahambi, Mr. Uti.
Okay, do you trust him then? Do you trust? But seriously, do you trust Coach Mangoba to be the guy to take you through, or is he still a caretaker? I ask this every time.
No, he's not a caretaker. Mr. Oti, that guy has been there with Pitso. The guy has been there, no Rulani. The guy has been there for more than 10 years. He knows the football that we need. When we won in 2016, he was there. When we've been in the semi-finals, knocked out in the finals, whatever, he's been there. So one guy that I trust, it has to be him. It has to be him. One guy I trust currently.
So, what's the expectations this year for Sundowns? Champions League, League, Cups. What are you counting? What are you counting?
League is obvious. Lava magana watata lama leftovers wama cup lawa abu bazinabo nama black label mawatata wakudi. Ama leftovers lawa watata. I'm gonna go there, Africa, and also the league. I'm fine. They can take the other thing there. I'm in 6 million Nedbank. Is it 6 or 7? They can take that. I deal with dollars that side, euros.
Okay, no, check it out.
So FIFA gave me how much? Emma Pilpote, Mr. Oti.
No, man, Tina si right. You wanna come see? No, let me not go there. Thank you, Chakaranda. Guys, I want to get into the second panel. Question for the comments. If Mangoba has been there and won it and done all of that, why are you guys confident that he can do it here? If, having been part of that team since 2016, you could say that he's had a big say in how the team runs and what's been happening over those years. So why do you trust him? I think I'll ask, why do you trust Umangoba now? That's what I want to know. Let me go into the final panel for tonight. Let me see. Okay, who said Vele? People who went on. Tato. Guys, please tap the screen. 140. Naki the 60. Kupa 60, guys. Kupa 60. Can you please tap the screen to 60, please? 60K. Just tap the screen. It is free. And man, halfway to the goal. Kupa di rose nyana, man, guys. Kupa something nyana there. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need the last person who was here. It was Uvusi. Okay. Agent. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? How you want to restart your Wi-Fi?
Can I restart my Wi-Fi? It's giving me.
Okay. Let me go to Prastovi. Prastovi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hola, Otis. I'm Gajan.
But you've done but Prastovi. Another year, another Champions League, man. Another year, another Champions League season. How do you see your group? How do you see my expectations with Team Yako this year?
OT, before names anything, Mankalapa, we all know in most cases, Utuzu win a Champions League or you qualify for Champions League. You win a league or you number 2. So I will go back to Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
In 1994, but we win a league. And the shares, but 1 point was deducted for professional, and it was given to them. They were awarded 1 point, and below 1 point they were added. He kept on space. His goal difference was 38, 31. So as a scholar, so very no much for so about Connie back door. But where does it start in the back door? The back room. It started from Orlando Pirates.
Mara Prastomi, who confuse ama 2000. He ball professional, Prasto.
Yes, uzayazi uvelile yena zitimbe ezinkulu esithetha ngazo zakudala. Ngakayendlala uzifisa. Ngo95 bayawina uyotsho ngo95 bayawina. Then ucomparison from 1995 to 2013 aba babe reach khona final. But how many years? It's 18 years. Usuke ku2013 otsho it's 8 years. bengakayewini. So as isikolo so velile sebese interest ne-history
Hey, man,
siyababetha
guys.
because understanding yabo ingathi incane. So Oti, what I will say, Champions League le, it is too early, very very early. Akadlali negame eyi-1 abantu sebedreama nge-finals. Dreams of value.
Mara ngifuna ukwazi nge-Sundowns, mara Prastobi, Sundowns.
It's very, yeah, there's a history a lot before you go to Sundowns. And ibona ngaba benze history baqala win. So we need to emphasize by uqala kubo. So Sundowns, it is very early for win a league and the group. I think right ngale ndlela inje. I don't want to be ahead of myself.
Mara Prastobi, masibuye ku-Sundowns, mara. I have to for that time. Must be a good Sundowns before your time runs out. What do you think is gonna happen this year against Sundowns? I'm Tembo Mango.
I'm talking about Sundowns. This Sundowns, it won't be easy.
Oh, okay.
Because for so many time, I can't be easy to reach a final. So I cannot be ahead of myself and act like children that abandon 3 years or 5 years. No rate game one. Group, it will be a challenging group. And going forward, we'll see by this. But what I can say, Umangoba sizomnika a chance to prove himself, but he can do better than Rulani. I reach more than as a stage. Otherwise, dreams of purpose or about honeymoon as Sebens early for long. You cannot compare MTN8 and the champion.
Pastor, can I ask you with Bangoba then for this last minute? How come there's no genius? You guys weren't speaking like this about Rulani. People are talking about he's a genius, the best coach. Yeah, we are going to win it. But Angati, man, there isn't the same trust going on.
What I can say, Oti, team, I got the money to the extent of life.
Okay.
When you understand we actually that things have not seen, and as on the principles of football, and it needs to work on those things. So if as on the Sebens or khanye longi, kumbule, if finally so say it team says figure go final, and this Sundowns will be final. It teams says figure we final. If it may happen to a final, we don't know what can do. So it is so alien saying why. Clearly, about Tate and Beneminyaka Sundowns.
Yeah.
Obvious was I win. We wish about I win. But again, Naye, understanding about cooking of Neka, he needs to work on. And Asakalang has a good match. There's no solution even now. So he's still seeking for a solution in order, I think, to reach the Naifunai. So, Nati, we understand it team I can be lend to see for now. Regardless, we won 3 games and go start of the season. But again, the Champions League will be challenging, including any cups.
For time, Prastomi, let me go to Tato. Tato, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hola, over tea and the overthinkers.
Tato, do you know Val Professional?
Sorry.
Whoa, do you know Val Professional?
Yeah, I know it.
Okay.
Abo professional. Abo Santos. Ay. Abo meaning Rangers. I corner man.
Tato, how do you feel about the draw? What are your expectations for Sundowns this year in the Champions League?
So let me greet the MTN champions first. Mina ngibhakaniya ukuthi Sundowns senzani. I mean anginandaba. Uyabona abanye abanethemba abakhona ukukhuluma ukuthi Sundowns uzoyithatha bakhuluma ngama dreams in mina. Let me be clear, mina ngithi my wish and my dream vele mina as a Pirates fan, mina it's for us to take the domestic league and it's for us to take the Champions League.
Why are we going to Pirates, guys? Tato is Sundowns here. I gave Pirates time.
Okay, Sundowns. Okay, let me talk Sundowns.
Yeah.
Futhi, my wish ukuthi maybe they can do better, but play direct football, not fast football. Direct football. I think the last time Rulani, it wasn't matter of his style of play. I think he mentality Sundowns last season coming to the Champions League.
Yeah.
They were overconfident. Like the team they were playing that knocked them out in a semi-final. They thought Uguti is over a walk in the park because they saw Uguti the first leg, how they played in the first leg, and they thought Uguti, aye man, second leg is just going to be a walk in the park. We're just going to give them 2-0, 3-0.
Yeah.
So I think last time it was not playing direct football because I think it was a draw first leg. I'm not really sure. I think it was a draw. So they didn't play direct football. And when they started playing direct football in the second half of the second leg, time was too late for them. They should have started that way, second leg, and maybe they could have maybe scored 1 or 2 goals. But they started playing second half of the second leg, trying to get more goals and trying to make it exciting. But it was already too late. So I think that was the only missing piece. That's why I think Mangoba is playing this way now. In our domestic league, he's preparing Sundowns players for the Champions League, and especially for maybe when they get to the quarterfinals and semi-finals, and maybe eventually get beaten by Pirates in the final.
But can I ask you, Tato, do tactics matter, CAF? Because we watch Ahly, yes, it might be a tactic, but we watch them play Ahly football. They wait for one chance, then they sit back. Yeah. Is it really about tactics, or is there something else that's holding Sundowns back?
It's many things, but tactics is part of it, because as you check, that's how North African teams play. They let you get the ball. They do not care what you have the ball positions and stuff. But they just punish one silly mistake, and that's part of tactics. That's one thing, like, as a South African football lovers and stuff, we should realize, yes, we want our teams to play beautiful football. Sometimes a game, you don't have to play beautiful football, especially in things like Champions League, because it's a tournament. It's not like a league. Like, it's sort of a cup competition. So no matter how you play, the main aim is to win the game. Whether it's ugly football or whatever, beautiful football is bonus. But if you win ugly, then it's fine, because an athlete doesn't care. Abu Raja do not care about beautiful football. They just want to win the Champions League.
Look, so the reason why I asked...
Yeah, even tactics of wasting time. Yeah. Tactics of wasting time. Game management. I can see Sundowns brought it into Sundowns. I mean, into our domestic league. Like, Ukapumuntu, like, maybe is on their own. Maybe it's going to be a counter-attack. Yes, things like that. You know, my player's not going to get the yellow. Maybe they're going to get the yellow card if they do it more. But they change the players. 1 minute is Mokwena, who's kicking players. 1 minute is Motaung, to stifle the play, to make the game to slow down. So little things like that count.
Okay. For time's sake, let me go to Tyler. Tyler, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you.
Yes, OT, I'm good. How's you?
No, I'm okay, man. I'm playing my Champions League at Naturena. We call it the Cooper Cup. But anyway, Tyler, how do you feel about Mamelodi Sundowns' draw and group? And what are the expectations for this team this year in the Champions League?
I think, OT, I don't know if you can hear me correctly. I've got a bit of a flu.
Got you perfectly.
Yeah, I think before that, let's vote for Williams, guys, for his Ballon d'Or. Not only the English side, the French side as well.
Okay.
Let's go. Please, numbers. Let's go and vote for him. I think for Sundowns, OT, everybody knows they are in each and every competition they go to. The mandate is to win every single thing, right? And Mangoba has been there for 9 years. I think he also mentioned that he understands what areas need improvement. He's done an analysis on Sundowns, why they crashed out of the Champions League. And that informed actually the new style of play now, because he analyzed his opponents. As you are saying yourself, Abu Al-Ari, they play dirty, they play ugly. Tato also mentioned that there's a direct football in Africa. They
Yeah.
don't care about the beautiful football that was introduced. So that is what he's trying to do to those players, to say, guys, put the balls in the box, and we've seen that a lot happening. We've seen players that Abo Alende, you find them in the box, and Abo Tembazwane, slow players. He's now linking him with Riva, because Riva and Temba, they don't have the legs. Temba will just be the player that attracts the opponents because they know he's deadly, and then they leave holes behind. Your Matthews, who are runners, and your Ribeiros. So in that, he's trying to introduce the style of direct football, and I think if the players they've got a bit of time now and they've been doing it, if they catch it, they're gonna be deadly, and they might come out of that group. As much as it's not going to be easy, because a lot of those teams, both of them, they're in Morocco. They don't want to prove themselves through Sundowns, and they will analyze Sundowns to the T. So it's not going to be easy, and that psychological is going to also work on Mangawa, because he knows his mandate is to win Champions League. Otherwise, he's gone if he doesn't win it, right? So I'm just worried about the psychology, the pressure of that, because we've seen him even in the press conferences. He gets irritated easy. And then I always wonder, how does he speak to the players if he gets irritated just by questions,
Yeah.
So I'm worried about that pressure going to the players if things don't go his ways, and also going to his decisions on the game. We've seen him changing Tembazwane and Ribeiro. Ribeiro was not happy about that. And I think I commented, I said, look at OT, look what is happening there. He's going to lose the changing room. Because Ribeiro was playing very well in the Chiefs game, and he took him out. And there's an element now when he introduced new players, the game seems to drop. The Sundowns game, it seems to drop, and then on your 80th minute, teams are coming for them. They are now defending. I think they need to look into that. They need Mokwena. You can't go to Africa and you don't play a box-to-box brilliant midfielder like Mokwena. If you are worried about what you are saying, you don't need a midfielder that's going to leave spaces. Play him with Riva, and then you tell him to push up. But you have Riva to protect those spaces. You need Motaung, you need Mvala when you go to Africa, because these are the players that won even for Bafana. So game management is one vital for him. Know when to make changes, who to change, and who do you replace that with. The style of play, you mentioned he wants to play two style of play, the league and in Africa. And so far I'm happy with that, the direct style of play. Yeah, thanks, OT.
Let me go to Vusi. Vusi, welcome to the show. How are you?
OT Gunjan, thanks for an invite.
Vusi ngitshele na Sundowns, they've got the group. How do you feel about the group yabo, and what are the expectations for this team?
You know what, looking at the group B Sundowns, sometimes in South Africa, as not that privilege. In Egypt, those Arab countries, they've got a privilege to watch our PSL. That's why they can analyze, like the Sundowns Pirates, the Sundowns Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Surely Ahly, with that, they were watching that game. That's a big game in South Africa. So they've got a privilege to watch Sundowns because first thing first, they have to understand that Rulani is gone. So now they wanted to know Mangoba's style. So surely they watch PSL and they analyze Sundowns. And for me, if Sundowns wants to, I think this is the last generation Sundowns to go and win it. If they don't win it this time, I don't think they will have another opportunity to win it. I think this season is their last opportunity.
Oh, why do you say that?
People will, people will correct me if I'm wrong. Look, you're looking at the player like Kudiso. He's currently the best actually the best right back in Africa. I don't care who says what, but as a Chiefs fan, I can see that, and I'm saying it. You understand? So will they sustain that performance up until next season? No, use him now when he's still in that top level. Like Mokwena, as the people have been saying, like Mokwena, they are in their peak now. That's when you're supposed to use them to win the Champions League. I don't think Kudiso will be in the same level next season as we saw him this season. If you watch the Chiefs game when he came on, I was in the stadium. I was like, yeah, no, Dupreez is going nowhere. Truly, it was the end of Dupreez. So you look at this generation of Sundowns. This is the generation that will bring them the start this season. Surely, Al Ahly, no, not Al Ahly. Raja is not a team that these teams are like they play when they play at home. So to me, if Sundowns wants to win, they need to change their style of play. At home, they can play the way they play, but at some point, you need to play without the ball. I'm not saying if people are confusing playing without the ball and parking the pass. You're not parking the pass. You are playing without the ball. We understand. Respect the team when you play away. Yes, you play without the ball. You just like Experience did to Sundowns. They played here at Loftus without the ball, and they got the results. So that's one thing. I'm glad you mentioned Roberto Di Matteo. If you remember in the semis, Roberto Di Matteo went with that Chelsea team to Barcelona, and Barcelona at the time they had Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, but they had to play without the ball. They ended up winning that game. Because Di Matteo went there with the plan that, you know what, Barcelona is the team that keep the ball. So we must know that we're not going to get the ball. We're going to get the ball in patches, maybe 2 minutes, and then they'll take it.
I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask.
For me,
No, I just wanted to ask. Are we being too harsh on the Sundowns there last year and the years before? I mean, I don't remember Sundowns losing by a big margin. It's always one goal. Do you need to change everything in order to make it work? Or is it maybe patching here and there? Because, I mean, it's not like Sundowns was beaten outright that many times.
Okay, I'm glad you came up with that question. Look at the team that lost to Experience. Ask yourself, what was the reason? Why did they lose that game? So you look at that game and you build from that game. It means they were doing something right up until then. So you take it from, as Mangoba, I will look at that clip and say, where did I go wrong here? And then I take it from there. Because to win the Champions League, remember, Chiefs were playing like one goal, pack the pass. One goal, pack the pass. That's how Chiefs got to the final. And then no one was talking about the Chiefs' style of play. Everyone was talking about Chiefs going to the final. So I think Sundowns also needs to be like that at some point. Yes.
For time's sake, let me bring in Agent.
Fortunately, my time is up.
Yeah, thank you, Musi. Let me go to Agent. Agent, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Welcome to the show. I'm good, man.
The Wi-Fi stable.
I don't know why. I hope so, but I think it's the weather this side.
How do you feel about the group, and what's your expectations for this team?
You see, I'm gonna need my extra 30 seconds because I decided 1 minute I need to defend my team because I saw others talking about my team and everything. But if you look at that trophy, man, you can see it was bought in Maravastad. You can't convince me otherwise. Look at it, Is that Okopara? Is he even alive? Just look at it, man. It was even rusty while they're holding it. They didn't even clean it. And even the teams they were playing against, it was a knockout, that thing. It wasn't CAF, no group stages, no nothing. Just knockout. Man, let's be serious. You need to take us serious. And even the teams they're playing against, they don't even exist. 11 men in a flight FC. Imagine a team called that. 11 men in a flight FC. BBC Lions, Lions, anti-Lions, BBC, something that I wouldn't say on a platform like this. Huh? Balinga, Bus Express FC. Do you know those teams were out? So they talk about back doors and everything. We know khoza khoza, we know. BBC Lions, BBC Lions, imagine. The only team that you played against that is Asekmi was. Others you don't even know them. So imagine. Don't talk us about backdoor trophies. Take us serious, man. Take us serious. Paris fans remind me of when we were young and we going to varsity, you'll pack all the rubber and take no. When I get to varsity, when you get there, you see that it's difficult here. You don't just you even go back with them full, not even on open. So you see, it's nice when you think you'll replicate it. It's difficult out there. But anyways, quickly to the game. I think for me, I think the most important part is that Mangoba respects the game. One thing that I loved about Kaizer Chiefs' game is he respects the game. Know when to defend and know when to attack. We attacked, we scored 2 goals, we defended. One thing that as much as it was pleasing on the sides about Rulani, aesthetically it was pleasing, but you don't need aesthetics to win CAF. We're willing to die on the hill of possession, even at our own expense. Even when we have to move the ball fast, we're still delaying it. Even when we have to go for the jugular, we still want to pass it around. But one advantage that Coach Mangoba has is he's able to respect the game and say, you know what, I think I want to try the storm out. One thing that killed us with Zamalek, it's not Zamalek. Was it Zamalek though? No, Whitehead.
Whitehead.
Goal. It was that I was in the stadium, we were shouting. I'll remember this day till and I'll tell my kids that someone's nephew killed us on that game. But anyways, and I think he was a spy. I think he was a secret agent, now that I think about it. But anyways, the whole stand were yelling at the technical team, we're yelling at the support staff that bring in on defenders, bring in on defenders. And he was not listening, and you consider an own goal, So I think that's something that Mangoba has to learn, that, and I love that he showed that, sometimes you swallow your pride and say, we pack the bus, whether we pack the bus, whatever you call it, or we play out of possession, doesn't matter, but to respect the game. I think that's something that we have. And the group is very difficult to Moroccan sides, and I hope, like we said, that they cancel each other somehow, maybe, and I think that would be advantageous to us, but it's a difficult group, and I saw someone saying they have a group of death. This is the group of death, they've been in the wilderness for too long that they don't know the teams. Where study Abidjan, when was the last time you heard of such teams? Selbelzided, starting by Mayu, and we call that the group of death. But anyways, they get excited by Mickey Mouse trophies like in TN8. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? I'll give you time. Talk about the intangibles, because I feel like sometimes with South African teams, we are so fixated on changing the tactics and changing this and changing that. How much are the non-tactic things important? Even when Chiefs went to the final, I don't think it was a tactical masterclass, but it's almost like, and when Gavin Hunt explained it, he was like, we had to choose one and we chose the other one. And I don't know if they sort of gave their energy to, how much do those things come into this? We watched Real Madrid win the Champions League over and over again, and we're all wondering how, Manchester City, what. Is it an attitude? Is it a club ethos? Can you speak about those things?
They speak of the soul of Sundowns. I feel like somehow we need to sell our soul. I don't know to what, but we need to sell our soul to win Champions League. We can't win the Champions League with our soul. And if you recall, the plastic cup, what is its name? The Super Cup.
Plastic cup. The AFL.
It's a real cup. It's not a plastic cup. It's not a plastic cup. If it was a plastic cup, then Pirates also has a plastic cup now that I see it. But anyways, I digress. I think if you recall the AFL, the way we played it, we're going blow for blow with how this team treated us. You give us your lasers, we play you in the afternoon, and we blind you with mirrors. You know, when was the last time you saw mirrors at Sundowns? You know, after AFL. You know, we didn't mind getting yellow cards at a throw in there. You know, when was the last time we did that? You know, so I think we need to be ruthless. We need to be decisive as the fans. You know, and I think again, Sundowns caved under pressure of being called free entry FC. You know, they started to sell tickets and everything. I bet of 20 rands. I'm not disputing that, but you know, South Africans, if you say buy one get one free for 20 rands, and it's still the same price as buying two, they'll still buy it. You know, because you know, the buy free got them. So I think what is the difference between rands and free entrance? Let it be free entrance. You know, so that the fans can come in, and also on the club side. You surely you have to make a compromise with the Blue Bulls, you know, and if the Blue Bulls are not willing to compromise, take the game to masterpieces, you know, and make sure that you maintain the masterpieces, you know, to understand that it can allow us in case we can use Loftus, but make sure that you talk to Blue Bulls that, you know, guys, can't you move your game to Sunday? Or even if they're playing on a Saturday, play a game on a Sunday because you have that thing at Loftus. So the problem is the club also, ever since AFL, have never done the, what do you call it, the intangibles as you put them, to push the team, you know. And like I said, the team also has not been willing to win ugly, you know, by a fouls. When was the last time you saw Tembazwane diving? You know, in a penalty box, you know, and Baba Motsepe in how, man, you've been a CAF president. Don't you leave CAF presidency without Champions League? Do something, man. You know what other achievements are doing. Do something, allegedly, of course. But yeah, thank you, man.
Okay. Thank you, agents. Okay, guys. Let me close it off. Do you know what I think, man? I think sometimes you can think yourself to death. I think sometimes you can tinker and try find something, but it's not working out. The CAF Champions League is not won by superior tactics. The CAF Champions League is not won by superior coaching. It's not won by sometimes even superior players. All of us here, we don't even know some of the players that play in Morocco for Wydad, for example. I think what Sundowns needs to do, and I can't explain it all the way, but what Sundowns needs to do is they need to make it the priority. Ahly, Real Madrid, all of those guys, it's a priority. It's not a very nice to have, or we'd love to, or we're talking. There, it's Champions League or die. There's Champions League or it's your job. It's Champions League or it's your position or whatever. But it feels the way Sundowns feels about the league. You know, last season when Sundowns was playing the league games and they were chasing invincibility, there was a thing about Sundowns that you knew that they're serious about this thing. You would watch the players get into the last 5 games, last 5 minutes, last 10 minutes of games, and they'd give it their all. That's what most of the time Ahly does. Let's be honest, guys. I just want to be honest. You now got Manqoba Ball, and we'll see how that does. You've had the Chameleon. You've had the co-head coaching with Ball. You've had the Diamond. You have this. You've had that. You've had that. Everything has been changed over and over again, and no wins came from that. You know, even when we look at the way that Sundowns performed, guys, losing by 1 goal doesn't mean that you must overhaul everything in search of whatever you're looking for. Losing by 1 goal, does that mean that Rulani's system failed and it must be overhauled? Does it mean that the one from before, the season before, when it was an on goal by Mbala that knocked them out, do you need to change everything in order to find it? Because what's worrying me right now about Mamelodi Sundowns, and maybe they'll figure it out, but what's worrying me is this thing of we haven't got it right now. Manqoba still installing this. Manqoba still doing this. The players haven't bought in. The what. It almost feels like an excuse, Nyana, to be honest with you. So I think for me, and I've said this before, it needs to be a real priority. Like, it needs to be do or die. I honestly don't feel like Sundowns is do or die. Ahly is spending way above Mamelodi Sundowns' budget to go win the Champions League. I want to win the league. They don't care about any of those things. Pitso, I think he didn't win the league in his time there. But as long as the Champions League was won, Champions League was won. So maybe that's what Sundowns needs to do. I also like the fact that Agent also spoke about, you know, these North African teams, guys, are willing to do anything to win that thing. They're willing to do anything. If it means, hey, we don't allow you to play certain games like this, or we don't allow you to come in at this time, or our stadiums are like this, and the reffing is like this, and all of that, those guys are willing. I still say, as South Africans, and I'm not condoning any of this behavior, but as South Africans, we are sometimes too friendly. We're too friendly. When people want to win the AFCON, or when people want to qualify, they will make you drive from Limpopo to Durban to go play your games, and with the West Pass and all of that stuff. Not condoning it, but that is who you guys are fighting. You are fighting people who are in it to win it all the way, deep down, 10 toes down. They'll do whatever needs to be done. We've seen some of the gameplay. We've seen some of those things. I don't think as South Africans we're there yet. And honestly, I don't think Sundowns is there yet. Even when you look at the side of management, right? And again, I'm not saying people must be fired or whatever, but there's a business. You know the difference between Sundowns, or that's the difference between Ahly, Bobo, Real Madrid, and everybody else. It's a business. Carlo Ancelotti, I love you. Mara, if you don't perform, you are fired. Smang, I love you. You know, the players, we love you, but I'm still willing to replace you if you have not done the job. Mamelodi Sundowns up to this point, and maybe Fleming is changing that, has been a family business. Mangoba, 12 years. Rulani, 10 years. We're still smiling with some of the players. We're still doing all those things. There, guys, Pitso was one of the best coaches in the world. Did you hear what they were saying about him? When he was top 10, best coach in the world, when he won them the CAF Champions League once or twice and all of that stuff, they were still talking that talk. You see Mangoba, for example, fine, you guys don't necessarily like him, right? You don't like him. I've asked this before, we've spoken about this. Those guys were winning and they were still saying, it's not, no, we're not happy. We're not happy. So it might be that it's more of a mental thing. It might be also that, like Uitumeleng is saying here, that we don't value CAF to that point. Sundowns, at the end of the day, is still a South African team. And maybe there's an attitude around it that even with them having been one of the more dominant teams for years, having been there for years, top four, semi-finals, yay, people are defending versus Sundowns, what. The difference is, ES Tunis won 2, I think, in a row. I'm forgetting the year. Wydad has won some in a row. Ahly is winning over and over and over again. All of those things. When we have CAF things, we know they happen como Egypt, como Morocco. They happen in the north. They prioritize the north. Those guys love this tournament. You look at England and Spain. When you look at Real Madrid, Barcelona versus the English teams and the love of the tournament and wanting to win it, it's also an attitude thing. So anyway, that's why I'm like, for me, I think it has more to do with an attitude than it has to do with tactics and changing things and trying to do that and doing all of these fancy things that South Africans do. Sometimes it's just about, hey man, what are you willing to do to go win it? And again, I am not condoning it and saying that it's right and saying that it's proper and saying that you should be the dark arts and do all of those things. Mara, when you're competing with people who are deep in those things, what must happen there? How do you, how do you then maybe not become them all the way, but do some things that are going to take you over the top? Sundowns has been in line for 8 years. But if you look at the stars around logos, it's still the same as the Pirates that won it in 95. There's still 1 star. The Pirates, there was a time where they were dominating and they fell off, and then they haven't been. How long has it been since Pirates has been in the Champions League, for example? Proper Champions League, guys, not preliminaries, proper group stages and all of that stuff. And Montana, do you know what's great about that? Do you know what's great about what you're saying now about via backdoor? Maybe that's what you need to. No, let me not go there. But yeah, so for me, I think that's the thing. And I think we're just tinkering and trying to change on the top layer. But deep down, you need to know that, man, you must go and fight with the big boys, or else Ahly's got 12 of these titles. 12. 4 of the last 5. We dad has 5. Yes, they're not in this year, but they've got 5. TP Mazembe's got 5. ES Tunisia's got 4, if I'm not mistaken. There's patterns. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And then if there's a watch along of if Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana Style, UWC, very big games are playing. We are going to be here watching them live, and we will do this where you can jump in. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, or if you came in late today, they will be available in full. They are available in full on YouTube. You can go watch there. And I have my own content. A lot of the time, if you really want to hear my thoughts, I put them out in full on my social media. I try to drop frequently, but there. And then, yeah, guys, this weekend, I've been nominated for the Content Creator Awards, DSTV Content Creator Awards. So this weekend is the awards. Hopefully, we can win something. So please, man, support. Thank you for the support you've shown up to this point. There is an official WhatsApp group where you will find Double Agent, where you'll find Double Velile, where you'll find a lot of the people that have spoken here. Hey, there's a lot of people that you'll find here if you want to go fight them. Mano in the group. We do have a WhatsApp group, but it's an incredible place. We learn a lot. We speak a lot about deeply in football, and there's no time limit. So there's times where there's times where something needs to go on for more than 2 hours. And this show is restricted for 2 hours, but there is 24 hours. We go back and forth. They voice notes, videos, what. If you want to join that group, head on over to my YouTube channel, The Overthinking Football Show. Click on subscribe and then click on join. Join on that side, and then you'll gain access to the WhatsApp group. I'll let you in, and you can join us in having some of the greatest conversations. I am telling you, it's incredible, the conversations that are there on that side that you guys are missing out on. Then please, let's vote for Williams. Let's vote for Ronald Williams for the Yasin Trophy. He is leading. Apparently he's leading on the English side, but there's also a French side that we need to vote. When you go to the link, just go to the Ballon d'Or website. There's a voting link there. Then you do have to vote for everybody else. But of course, the fan vote is a part of the full thing. So we need to push him as far as possible on the English and the French side. And then the other voters will decide everything else. But we need to do our part to make sure that our boy goes and wins there. Yes, I'm not a Mamelodi Sundowns fan, but he had some of the most incredible season last year. And we need to put our own up there. Guys, it's been incredible. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye, everyone.